Two premium Apple laptops, one older Pro, one brand new Air. Both belong to Apple's modern silicon era, but they're built for very different priorities. So the real question is simple. Does an older MacBook Pro still make sense? Or is the new MacBook Air the smarter choice today? The MacBook Pro 14 with the M2 Pro chip is aimed at professional users, creators, editors, developers, people who need sustained performance, more ports, and a higher-end display. The MacBook Air 13 with M4 focuses on efficiency, everyday performance, and portability. It's designed for students, office work, content consumption, and light creative tasks. Both run macOS smoothly, both feel premium, but they're optimized for very different workloads. Price is where this comparison becomes interesting. At launch, these two laptops were in completely different categories. The MacBook Pro 14 with M2 Pro originally started around $1,999 and went higher with upgrades. The MacBook Air 13 with M4, on the other hand, launched at $999, and that's still its official new price today for the base configuration. In 2026, the MacBook Pro is only available used or refurbished. Depending on configuration, condition, and battery health, prices usually range between $1,000 and $1,300. The MacBook Air M4 is still widely available brand new at $999, often with full warranty support. So this comparison isn't about equal pricing. It's about choosing between an older, higher-tier machine and a newer, more efficient one. The MacBook Pro 14 has a more robust, professional design. It's thicker, heavier, and clearly built as a performance-focused machine. The extra weight comes from better cooling, a larger battery, and more internal hardware. The MacBook Air 13 is thinner, lighter, and easier to carry every day. At around 1.24 kilograms, it feels effortless in a backpack or shoulder bag. If portability and minimal weight matter most, the Air wins. If you want something that feels more substantial and work-oriented, the Pro still feels like a tool, not just a laptop. Display quality is one of the Pro's biggest advantages. The MacBook Pro 14 features a 14.2-inch mini-LED Liquid Retina XDR display with a 3024 by 1964 resolution, up to 1600 nits HDR brightness, and ProMotion adaptive refresh up to 120 Hz. It offers extreme contrast, deep blacks, and excellent HDR performance. Ideal for video editing, color grading, and professional creative work. The MacBook Air 13 uses a 13.6-inch Liquid Retina IPS panel with a 2560 by 1664 resolution, 500 nits brightness, and 60 Hz refresh rate. It's sharp, color accurate, and great for everyday use. But it can't match the Pro's brightness, contrast, or motion smoothness. For display quality alone, the Pro clearly leads. Performance is where this comparison gets more interesting than you might expect. The MacBook Pro 14 is powered by the M2 Pro chip, with a 12-core CPU made up of 8 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, and a 16-core GPU delivering around 6 teraflops of graphical power. It's a chip designed for sustained, multi-core workloads, and thanks to active cooling, it can maintain performance over long periods. The MacBook Air 13 uses Apple's newer M4 chip. It features a 10-core CPU with fewer performance cores, but those cores run at much higher clock speeds. In single-core benchmarks, the M4 clearly pulls ahead, which means everyday tasks, app launches, and UI responsiveness feel extremely fast. In multi-core performance, the results are surprisingly close. Despite being fanless, the M4 Air matches, and in some benchmarks slightly edges, the older M2 Pro in short to medium workloads. Graphics performance still favors the Pro. The M2 Pro's 16-core GPU is noticeably stronger in sustained GPU-heavy tasks, like longer video timelines, 3D workloads, and heavier creative apps. The Air's 8-core GPU is capable, but clearly tuned for efficiency rather than raw power. So the real takeaway is this. The MacBook Air M4 feels faster in everyday use and single-core tasks, but the MacBook Pro M2 Pro still wins when workloads get heavier, longer, and more demanding, especially on the GPU side. The MacBook Pro 14 uses active cooling with fans, allowing it to sustain high performance without throttling. The MacBook Air M4 is completely fanless. That means absolute silence, but under heavy, prolonged workloads, it will reduce performance to control heat. So the Pro is better for extended, demanding tasks, while the Air offers a quieter, more minimal daily experience. Both laptops can be configured with 16 gigabytes of unified memory, but there's an important technical difference. The MacBook Air M4 uses newer, faster memory, with higher bandwidth compared to the M2 Pro generation, which helps responsiveness in everyday tasks. Storage is where the Pro usually has an advantage. The Air starts at 256 gigabytes, while most Pro configurations begin at 512 gigabytes or more. And since neither machine allows storage upgrades later, that initial configuration matters long-term. The MacBook Pro 14 features a 6-speaker system with deep bass and strong stereo separation. It sounds richer and fuller than the Air. The MacBook Air 13 uses a 4-speaker system, still excellent for its size, but not as immersive as the Pros. Keyboards and haptic trackpads are excellent on both, classic Apple quality with no real downside. For webcams, the Pro uses a 1080p FaceTime HD camera, reliable and consistent. The Air upgrades to a 12MP center stage camera, offering better framing and smarter video call behavior. The MacBook Pro 14 offers more flexibility. Thunderbolt ports, HDMI, SD card reader, and headphone jack. The MacBook Air keeps it minimal. 2 Thunderbolt ports, MagSafe, and headphone jack. Wireless connectivity is identical on both. Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3. Battery life is excellent on both machines, but context matters. The MacBook Pro 14 originally offered long endurance, but in 2026 most units are used or refurbished. That means battery health can vary significantly, and real-world battery life may be lower than when new. The MacBook Air 13 benefits from a newer design and more efficient M4 chip. As a newer device, it's far more likely to deliver consistent, predictable battery life. So while both can last a full workday, the Air is the safer choice when battery condition matters. Both laptops are fully compatible with the latest macOS versions. Apple typically supports MacBooks for 7 years or more. Because the Pro is older, it may receive fewer future updates than the Air. But realistically, both will remain supported and usable for many years. No ecosystem disadvantage on either side. Choose the MacBook Pro 14, M2 Pro. If you need stronger sustained performance, a superior display, more ports, and a machine built for heavier workloads. Choose the MacBook Air 13 M4 if you want a modern, silent, efficient laptop with excellent battery life, longer future support, and zero used device risk. Neither is objectively better. They simply serve different priorities. Would you go for the older Pro or the newer Air? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more real-world laptop comparisons.